Hello, friends. Welcome. How is everybody doing out there? It's day 23, the 23rd of December, 2020, or the, what is it, 800, 400, 187th of March if you're using the 2020 calendar. So yeah, welcome. Those of you who are watching the chat there, Louisa said, your musical loading screen is a perfect opportunity to plug your music. And yeah, there are some... The YouTube algorithm is very clever, and the way copyright law works here on planet Earth is very complicated. It's the Chaotic Black. Hello, welcome. How are you, friend? So yeah, the my musical nerd parody. Hey, Tsanai, welcome. My nerd comedy parody music video things. When I upload them to YouTube, it goes, oh yeah, copyright violation detected, and it figures it out, and it kind of splits the ones that are monetized. It splits the royalties, and sometimes the record company says, you can't do that. But I don't really want, like, if it's 2 hours of me live coding, I don't want it getting a copyright notification because I had a parody cover of AC/DC on the opening music while I was waiting for people to tune in. I could, I guess, do something where I sort of start the stream and do it live and then take it down and then edit the recording locally and then upload that, but I'm figuring out ways to do it. Someone has just said I should get a record deal, which is like, yeah, because that's an easy thing to do. As you well know, getting record deals is trivial. You just go, yeah, I need a record deal now, but apparently there are now websites where you just go and I need what's called a mechanical royalties license for a particular song, and they just go, yeah, all right, that's fine, we'll sort it out for you, and all this stuff is now, I don't know, they must use spreadsheets or something to make it all work. So anyway, hello everybody. Yes, and welcome to Advent of Code Day 23, December the 23rd. I haven't looked at today's at all. I have literally no idea what we are getting ourselves in for today, but I've already decided that I'm going to do it in JavaScript. Hey, it's Burnex691. How are you, Burnex? Can I call you Burnex? Is that alright? I do enjoy the whole... I keep getting these little emails from people going, hey, it's me! I'm that person from your stream. I'm like, oh, yeah, alright. I put the two together. So, right. Let's do some coding, shall we? Well, first of all, let's do a little bit of a tactic. Actually, before we do anything else, I'm going to plug something, because I'm throwing a party. It's Bernardo! Hey, Bernardo, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm throwing a party on the internet on Sunday, and you're all invited. And I'm going to put a link in all the various chats there, and you should all go and check that out. I'm going to be doing a stream on Twitch and on YouTube, and probably Facebook Live as well for folks who don't get Twitch and YouTube, who I'm sure exist. And I'm going to do a couple of hours of, it's just fun, you know, it's funny nerd songs and some PubConf style lightning talks about all kinds of things. It is funny, it is music, and it is comedy, and it is kind of fun, and what I suggest folks do if you want to come along, if you're stuck at home literally on your own, get a couple of other people you know, you all get on Zoom, and then you all sit on Zoom together and you watch the stream on Twitch, and then you can like make jokes with each other and chat and watch the show, and then afterwards we'll have one big Zoom and we'll get together and drink beer and talk about how nice it is that certainly here in the Northern Hemisphere. So 2 nights ago was the longest night of the year, so the days are now the nights are getting shorter, the days are getting longer. So I hope this is the beginning of the world generally getting into a more happy and reassuring kind of a place. Right. Let's have a look at the advent of code. Actually, before we do that, I want to show you something. This is this thing here. This is Askolov. And I don't know who Askolov is, but Askolov has been doing Advent of Code every single day and putting it in this beautiful web interface that is kind of inspired by the way the whole thing works, and it's all... so Askolov is Darth Gandalf on GitHub. But only 180 days until the nights start drawing in. Louise, don't be so pessimistic. You're assuming we're all going to be alive 180 days from now. And the sun will still be functioning. No, it's fine. Summer's coming. Summer. It's going to be amazing. We're going to go outside and there's going to be a vaccine and we're going to have conferences and parties and it's going to be brilliant and awesome and fantastic. And I want to show you this. So this was one of the best things that I've seen. I don't know if I showed you this before, but this was Askolov's visualization of the Jurassic jigsaw puzzle. And you can paste in you'd paste in your own input to this, and then you click run, and just watch this. It's absolutely amazing the way it's been built. And it does the whole, sort all the puzzle pieces out, and we can crank up the speed on the viz here so that runs quicker. I just thought this was brilliant. I was so blown away at the level of kind of, love that's gone into this. And then it does the whole scan thing, and you can see it scanning for sea monsters, and look at this, and it scans the whole thing, and scans the whole thing, and scans the whole thing, and it doesn't find anything, so it flips the configuration, and it does it again, 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 and then finally, on I think the 5th config or 6th config here, there we go, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? And I just want to, I'm going to bring up the Windows magnifier here, and I want to, how do you turn the magnifier on Windows 10 to be lens mode, which is what I want. I want that to be, there we go. Because if you zoom in really nice on this, you can see these little guys here. I don't know if that zooms for you, actually. I've never tried magnifier used in conjunction with a live stream before. But yeah, the sea monsters have got little smiley faces. It does. It works. Yeah, they're little smiley mouths. At least I think they're mouths. Let's zoom in on that again and have another look. Does that? Yeah, look at that. Isn't that amazing? I thought that was fantastic. I absolutely loved that. Yeah, some people have an amazing amount of just talent and creativity, and it's fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you all. Right, let's have a look at Advent of Code 2020, day 23, crab cups. The small crab challenges you to a game. The crab is going to mix up some cups, and you have to predict where they'll end up. The cups will be arranged in a circle labeled clockwise. For example, if your labeling were 3, 2, 4, 1, 5, there would be 5 cups in a circle going clockwise from the first cup, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5, back to 3 again. So we got cups in a circle. All right. Before the crab starts, it'll designate the first cup as the current cup. Then it'll do 100 moves. The crab picks up the 3 cups that are immediately clockwise of the current cup. They are removed from the circle. Cup spacing is adjusted as necessary to maintain the circle. The crab selects a destination cup, a cup with a label equal to the current cup's label -1. If this would select one of the cups that was just picked up, the crab will keep subtracting 1 until it finds a cup that wasn't just picked up. If at any point on this process the value goes below the lowest value on any cup's label, it wraps around to the highest value on any cup's label instead. All right, so, okay. Crab places the cups it just picked up so that they are immediately clockwise. Hey, Tess, welcome. Immediately clockwise of the destination cup. They keep the same order as when they were picked up. The crab selects a new current cup. The cup which is immediately clockwise of the current cup. I don't know what happened to my accent there. Current cup clockwise. Lots of k going on. For example, suppose your cup labeling... I thought I had closed that Slack. Which Slack is that? That's the Slack. Bye-bye, Slack. For example, suppose your cup labeling were blah, 3, 8, no, yes. If the crab were to do 10 moves, the following changes. So cup 3 is the destination. Pick up 1, 2, 3 cups. Destination cup is 3 minus 1, which is 2. And the 8, 9, 1 cups that get picked up go to... The crab places the cups immediately clockwise of the destination cup. They keep the same order. So, that's the point, actually. I think I've got a... yesterday when we were fooling around with doing music with the Rockstar program, I'm going to do more of that stuff, by the way. Just so kind of yesterday, as you probably could tell, I had not really prepared, and I certainly have enough stuff here that I can do kind of putting songs together and live music live on the stream. It just takes a little bit of setup to make sure the right things are all plugged in the right places and stuff. And also my streaming PC is Windows, and for music I use Logic on the Mac, which is sat just over here out of shot. So we need to figure out some details with another HDMI capture box, which I happen to have here somewhere. So maybe that'll be a thing. Post-advent of code. I'm quite enjoying streaming, and I need some stuff to keep streaming in the new year. So anyway, move 1. Target cup, or what do they call that one? The current cup is 3. Pickup 891, destination is 3 minus 1 is 2. Put in 891 left of 2, so 2 is there. So cup 3, 2, we pick up 3 cups left of immediately right of the target. Destination cup here is 7. Why is the destination 7? Because the destination cup is the current cup's label minus 1. What? Okay. So the current cup is 3. Destination is 2 because it's current cup label minus 1. That's 2. We picked up 1, 8, and 9. So it can't be 2 minus 1 is 1, not allowed. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 is where we wrap because we're using 1-based arithmetic. So flip that around. We can't use 9, we can't use 8, so it's got to be 7. Okay, so that's all right. Move 3, 3, 2. Our destination cup is 7 there. So we are going to pick up current cup is... Okay, so the current cup moves clockwise every time. Current cup moves from there to 2 to 5. Okay, so we pick up 3 left of the current cup, and the destination here is 3 because it's 5 minus 1, which we can't have because we picked up 4. So it's 4 minus 1, which we can have, which is 3. So we've got our 4, 6, 7. We want to drop our 4, 6, 7 in next to the destination cup, which is 3. So 4, 6, 7 drops in there. The current cup moves to the right, which is 8. Now this is... What I'm trying to work out right now, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, so we put 4, 6, 7 here, and it says you're going to insert 4, 6, 7 clockwise of the destination cup here, which is 3. Now, our destination cup here is 3. So 4, 6, it's all modular, isn't it? It's a looping list because it's a clock, so it doesn't matter. They're just doing this so that the current cup keeps moving one space around. Okay. All right. And there's no this isn't a game you win, right? This is just a 3 cups each move. The crab is going to do 100 moves. Okay. After the crab is done, what order will the cups be in? Starting after the cup labeled 1, collect the other cup's labels into a single string with no extra characters. So no winner, just pick up 3 cups and move them in a circle. Cuppity, cuppity, cup. All right. Your puzzle input. Okay, that's my puzzle input. Well, this should be pleasing. I'm going to do today in JavaScript, but I'm going to do it in server-side JavaScript. I'm going to do it in Node because I haven't done any Node on this puzzle yet, and I thought that might be a laugh. CD project, CD GitHub, CD advent of code, mcdir. Day 23, wasn't it? Let's have a look at that. Code dot, and let's just do, so I've been playing around with a thing called Jest, which is really nice. Jest is a unit testing framework for JavaScript. So we can plug in some stuff here. So I'm going to do a new file here, and I'm going to call this game.js. That's fine. But then I'm going to create another new one here, which is going to be called game.test.js. Save that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to do npm install jest. npm is installing. There will now be something like 748 modules in my project that I don't know and I don't understand and I didn't write, and somehow they're my responsibility now. But you know what? 511 packages from 350 contributors to be able to run unit tests. Not really getting move 4. Let's have a look at this one. So move number 4 we got here. So tests, I think what they're doing is that they are always, so the current cut moves to there and then to there and then to there. This thing's a circle, remember. So in theory, it all loops around, so it doesn't matter. This could what was it, the 467 here, get inserted after the 3, 467, but then they've cycled the list around so that this column here becomes the one that's to the right of the 5, becomes the current cup. I think that's my understanding. Destination cup for move 3 was 3. Yeah, and the destination, so 4, 6, 7 have been inserted after 3. So the rules hold. 3 has just, so 3 was there, and then 3 was there, and then it's like we'll put 4, 6, 7 in, take them out of there, put them in after 3. So 4, 6, 7 dropped in there. 3 has not. Hang on, that's. No, yeah, hang on. No, it hasn't. So the sequence here, we've got 9, 1, 3 is there. So 3 in this is between 1 and 2. And 3 here is between 1 and 2, but the 4, 6, 7 that we picked up in the last one have been inserted after the current cup. What I want to do here is, right, how are we going to make this thing work? Let me just do a test. It works. And so this is the way that the just syntax works. As a test is declared with it works. And expect 1 to be true. Actually, expect 1 to be 1. That should be fine. And I need, that's it, expect equals that. That should be all right. Now this, I think I can do a just minus watch. Could not find a config value. Why do I need a just config file? Let me grab one I got out of somewhere else here. The project's GitHub iPuzzler source. Tests. There is no just config file. Why is just complaining? Yeah. That's really odd. npm install jest. I did that already, right? And it worked. Terminate that. Yeah, npm install jest. Please just do the thing. That should all be fine. Yep, that's all right. 23. Yep, updated. Updated one package. Changed nothing. Updated one package. Interesting. Bear with us a few minutes, gang. We are going to try and figure out why JavaScript doesn't work. That may sound optimistic for a live stream, but by golly, we are going to do it. Right, let me just try cd projects GitHub iPuzzler cd source. That's fine. That works. That's what I'm expecting to happen. Let's just do a quick check on what we got on there. npm list grep jest. Jest worker 26.6.2. Okay, so let's spin up another one of these here. D, CD projects, CD GitHub, CD advent code, CD day 23, npm list grep jest. That's weird. That's super weird. Let's do an install -g, see if we can get it installed globally so it'll just work. That is odd. That is very odd. Let me check I'm not doing something dumb here. Jest.js, there we go. Jest, delightful unit testing. Works with Node, yes it does. Download, that's fine. Docs, that's fine. Looking for, no, give me the getting started. That's what I want here. Usage and example. So that's all very interesting. Not. Yeah. This entire file is telling us how to. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's a link to Node.js. That's not what we want. Docs, there we go. npm install save dev. That's probably what I'm missing, is the save dev. Yes, let's run that. Nope, that still doesn't work. All right. That's fine. Then create that. Then add the following to your package.json. Let's do a code package.json, and there we go, and drop that in there, and that's going to, sweet, that's going to run, and it's going to give us some stuff, and game is not defined, that shouldn't be there, that's alright. So I can now do a jest ---- watch, and what this will give us is a little window that sits in the corner, and if that window stops being green, it means we broke something. Which is not quite on the level of the stuff we were doing with nCrunch the other day, but it's not bad, you know. It'll give us some instant feedback. Now what I'm gonna do is, if I stick that kind of down here, bring that in about there, that's nice, and I'm gonna move that out of the way, but then I'm gonna plug in another application window capture into the stream here, so you all can see what we got going on with that console window there. Yeah, Windows Terminal, just watch. Interesting, Windows Terminal does not work with the display capture devices we got going on here. The joy of streaming, hey? All right. Trust me, I'll put this back on a screen if it does anything important. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch it and make sure it stays green. So, what do we got here? We've got game.js, and I want have a look at our requirements here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to simulate, basically we're simulating playing one round, right? So one move is going to take a list of inputs, and it's going to give us back what? So we got a game. I'm going to say the game has a state and the game has a current cup. And what we want to do is check. So the test we want to be able to run is something like this. So test game plays one move. And this thing we are going to say that goes to... so let's, again, there's this thing. Do we build a thing with a bunch of static methods on it that we give it data and we get data back, or do we build a class that is somehow stateful? So I'm gonna build a game that starts with a set of cups. So I'm gonna say var game equals, so let game equals new game, and this is gonna take, no, not gamepad, just game. Game is fine. That takes that. So that's nice. And then what I want to say is So game dot play move, and then I want to expect game dot cups dot to be, now at this point game dot cups is going to be an array, so I'm expecting this to be something like this. 3 2 is not interesting. 8 9 1 7 4 6 7, and expect game dot, what is it, the current cup to be. So the current cup's value now is gonna be 2. So we're expecting that if we feed in this into the game, we play one round, the output we're gonna get is this. And then the next one we want to do is we'll do a game.play move again. Actually, let's start out with that. The part 1 here looks sufficiently kind of straightforward that I'm worried there's something horrible lurking in part 2. But hey, you know, advent of code. Louis translating VBA to C#. Yeah. You could do it in VB.NET, of course. The syntax is a lot more familiar, and it's still a first-class supported member of the .NET ecosystem. So let's plug in a export class game constructor, and this is going to take my input, and it's going to do something. And we want a get. What do we got? Cups is going to return nothing. And we got get current cup is going to return 0. I think I can probably inline those because we're running Node, so I don't need to worry about the browser support for that syntax. Is that? No, it's expecting that to be a thing. How delightful. VB.NET, just picking up on what's going on in the chat. VB.NET is one of those really interesting languages that is still kind of, there's first-class support for it. Like, it's absolutely, definitely part of the whole, the .NET ecosystem, and people keep working on it. And there's some neat stuff in VB.NET that doesn't really exist in any other language. But I don't know anybody who uses it. Like, I don't know anyone who'd pick up VB.NET as their kind of .NET, their language to learn .NET with. You should have noticed by now that like if I was focusing on doing programming and I didn't want to get distracted, I wouldn't be streaming it live on Twitch. Either that or I wouldn't be looking at the chat. The chat is what makes this interesting. So constructor, cups return that returns that, and we need on here a method called play move. And this is at the moment just going to do nothing. So now I want to pull in const game. Equals require /game.js. Wrap that up in a wasp name. I used VB.NET for actual real world being paid for at work. Well, I spent many years doing VB script for a living. Like literally I would write VB script applications, and that's what I did professionally for about the first 3 years of my career. And then .NET came out and I really didn't like it, so I went back to classic ASP, but I realized you could write it in JavaScript, and that was brilliant. I loved that so much. Let me have a look here and see if there is any way of... I wish it wouldn't do that. I just went to change the settings on my Windows terminal here, and it went, oh look, we've got a JSON file in a format you've never seen before that you can edit with Visual Studio Code. No thank you, fine, right. But what we do have going on here, if you have a look at our jest tests down here, is we've got a what's blowing up here? Unexpected token. You are trying to import a file that jest cannot parse. It's not plain JavaScript. So let's do a cd projects cd. Actually, I know what I could do. I could bring up a console here somewhere, couldn't I? Look at that. I can bring up one of those. Which is, of course, PowerShell, which is not really what I want here, but I can use PowerShell to start a command. Advent of code day 23, and I can do a jest minus watch in here and see what that gives us. There we go. Runs game test suites, 1 failed, which is kind of nice. And it failed because const game equals require, that blew up there. Do I need a thing on the end of that? Maybe I do. That should be all right with that syntax. And that should be okay. And it's blowing up with... interesting. Let me double check this syntax against something that I know works, which I'll do with another Visual Studio Code window. I'll fire up iPuzzler, which is my other side project that may be ending up on a Twitch stream near you one day soon. And my... let me find some tests in here. Tests. Yeah, that's fine. Cell test import position from const equals that. I need import game from... There we go. And that's failing. Why is that failing? Cannot use import statement outside a module. What? Interesting. Why does it think that this thing is not a module? Why is that complaining? Cannot use input outside a module. I will not say nasty things about JavaScript on the live stream. I will not say nasty things about JavaScript on the live stream. Why does it say I cannot use that? It's working in this project here. That works absolutely fine. Import that from that. Import that from that. That should be all right. And cell.test, or if I go into position, that imports position and works with it. And if I look at the position file itself, that's just an export class. Is there maybe some kind of... that's just the Webpack configuration. There's nothing terribly exciting in there. That's fine, that's fine. That's just Babel stuff. That shouldn't be changing anything. That's Webpack. Doesn't matter, really. That's just a bunch of config stuff. Let me check out the config here. That's fine. Const sum equals dot slash require sum. Yeah, you see, it's... Yeah, let's check that game.js is cromulent. That is fine. That's a perfectly valid chunk of JavaScript. We're getting sidetracked, aren't we? It's 16:33 and we're getting absolutely nowhere. Right. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. Command line. Config. I don't want Babel on this. We don't need Webpack. ECMAScript modules. Yep. This should be... Is it because I'm using Node rather than using Webpack on this thing? And the whole import syntax is different. Node import versus Webpack require. What do we got here? Yep. Okay, so require is the old school JavaScripty thing. And probably needs a... module.exports equals back that up. That's got module.exports equals sum. That should be fine, and that should be require that. So let me just play around with this syntax here. Module.exports equals game. Should be all right. And then game test const game equals require game. Run that again. Boom, okay, that's it. We got the syntax. Expected that, received that. That didn't work. We don't like you. That's not what we expect at all. So I'm going to cheat now, and I'm going to come over to my class, and I'm going to make this thing go green in the simplest way that I possibly can, is I am going to say, return these things after you have finished doing a thing, and expect game.cups, and... that should be, we want not object.is equality, we want a we want an array content equality. So let's have a look at the just array matcher. Using matches, expect dot to be, to have been called, to have been returned, to be null, to be truthy. I want the array thing to be what is to expect array containing array? Not really what we want. Yep. Not that. That's fine. Just matcher compare arrays. Using matches is an array equality function that matches, ignores element position. Expect, so that's that. You can do a sort. Oh, there should be a to equal. Let me plug that and see what we get. So here is our game test, and expect game cups to equal that. And there we go. That worked. We've got everything is now green. So let's plug in another test. This is the sort of slightly militant red-green refactor where we do literally the dumbest thing that could possibly make the thing work. So after move 1, hang on, I've jumped ahead a move, haven't I? So after 1 move, we're actually expecting that that output current cup should be 2. Then next one, we're expecting that output and the current cup should be 5. So go back over here, game.play move, and this is gonna be move 3. So first of all, let's actually, I'll tell you what, game equals new game that, and then expect game.cups to equal. Now at this point, we want our cups to equal that there, and that. And we are expecting our game.currentCup to equal, and it's 3, isn't it? So we've now got a failing test because when we first run our game, it doesn't work. All right, so I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna take this out because we're actually jumping ahead of ourselves a little. First thing we want to do is when we start a new game, it should match the input that we've got here. And I can do something a tiny little bit more sophisticated here, is I can say, well, let's describe game loads various cups correctly, and this one we are going to do that goes to that, and we are going to say const cases equals, so this is an array of things. The first one we've got here is we've got this, actually let's do a really simple input here. So our first one, the string 1, 2, 3, that should give us back a set of cups equal to 1, 2, and 3. Second one should be 1, 2, 3. That should give us back 1, 2, 3 as our set of cups. And finally, I'm going to drop in this thing here. So that, and that should give us back this thing here. Grab that, drop that in there. So we've got an array of test cases now. So that's const cases equals that, and then we want test.each cases, and in this case we want, so there's a little string pattern here. You can do when input is P for pretty print, and this function is now going to take input and cups. Actually, let's take input and expected cups. Okay. And we can drop in a thing here that says, grab that lot, that's fine, put that in there, new game based on input, expect game dot to equal expected cups, and we can put in a current cup on there as well, to equal current cup. Now we start with the first cup in the list, is that right? So that's going to be 1, that's going to be 1, current cup there is going to be 3. And let's just do a quick dummy check. So if we got a 2, 3, 1, we expect to get 2, 3, 1, and our output is 2. So that's plugged in. We have a test. We comment out that lot because it's not immediately relevant. And we have a failing test. That blew up. It got the wrong thing. Actually, it failed to even compile. Line 15. That needs to be that, because we need to pass those functions into the property. Test suite failed to run on line 29 because we didn't close all the things properly. Interesting. That passed, and I don't know why that passed, because that should not have passed. Expect game.cups to equal that. Expect that. It didn't. It did a invalid second argument. Expected string but received function. Okay, so a bunch of stuff is... This is not terribly helpful. Like, one test suite did not pass. No, it really didn't. That is not what happened here. Those inputs are all correct and valid. So input expected, let game equals new game, expect that. Let's run that again. What do we got? Hello Marty. Yeah, we're doing today's in Node, and at the moment I'm banging my head against the brick wall that is known as the Node.js ecosystem. That should be fine. Game plays one move. That shouldn't even be running. Game plays one move is commented out. I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to start Jest again. Let me just check I got the right test case syntax here. That test.each may not be exactly what we need. I had a test here in my position test. Take a look at, no, it was cell test on this thing. Cases equals that. Test.each cases thing, comma, that goes to something that runs on it. Yep. Syntax is right. Yep. That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. And test.each cases should be, yeah, test.each cases. Fine all the way down. But this thing here is, I would not describe the JavaScript ecosystem as comfortable. I would describe it as entertaining. You can certainly do a lot of interesting things with it. What have I missed out here? Right, let me just hack out a bunch of this stuff, see if we can get a clean run off this test case here. Console.warn invalid second argument. That should not be. Doing what it's doing there. That should not be passing. Those things are not valid. Game test.js test suite failed to run, and then it passed. And it's still, let me clear that, wipe all that lot out. Let me have a look. Maybe I've got a confusion going on here. Right, let's try that again. So this is our Jest runner running in a console instead of the VS window because it's getting a little bit confused over there. So this is interesting. Yarn, invalid second argument, expected string but received function. Which is odd. Because it suggests that this thing here is expecting something in there. Invalid second argument, expected string but received function. So that should be fine there. Test it works, expected 1 to be 1. That game loads that. That test each cases when that. I'm starting to wish I'd done today's in C#. I really am. Let's get this thing working properly. So, where is my that is the exact syntax. Cases, test.each, cases, function, string, and then the actual function callback that we want to run. So jump in over here. Let me try something here. So I'm going to comment that lot out. Just build this thing up. Describe testing with cases works. Okay, so that's our function thing. Then we got that thing there, and I'm going to plug in a test here that says test, and this is going to be test foo. That goes to there and goes to expect foo to equal foo. Okay, that should run. That should give us a clean build. Take a look over here, run that again. I'm still getting a console.1 invalid second argument on a file that should not exist anymore because it shouldn't be running. What the hell is going on, JavaScript? Run test process ticket Jasmine to require module at argument type error. Game loads various cups correctly. Why? It's getting a type error on line 15 of a file that it doesn't even have. Invalid second argument. Expected string. So it's on that line. It's on the describe line there. That's the thing that's warning it. Let me check whether they've... because the possibility is that the jest syntax has been bumped in the very small window since I last did it. So just describe syntax. Getting started. That's fine. That's a test. That's fine. That's all right. Do I need to maybe pull in something else that will get that describe syntax to work? Let me have a look at my good working example. That should just be import test and expect from that. So if we jump back over to our that example, yeah, that's fine. What? You see that? So something, probably VS Code, put in that line there because it's like, oh, you want to describe things. I've got a library here that includes describe. Let me yank that in for you. That is not the one we want, and that is why none of this stuff is working. Okay, this is looking a little more promising now. So okay, so let's just verify we got a failing test. Test bar, and that says expect foo to equal bar. Never gonna work. Foo will not ever equal bar. The world will fail if that happens. And there we go. Boom, one failed. That's nice. Okay, we are sort of slightly back to where I wanted us to be. So let's hack that lot out, hack that lot out, save that lot. We should get a bunch of IDs making wrong imports are a problem in every ecosystem. Yeah, but it's okay because machine learning is going to replace programmers, says the thing, you know, the thing on the thing. Okay, so our parser is not working. So constructor input, we want to say this dot cups equals so at this point we want input.split on the empty string dot map. Every element there goes from n goes to parse int n. So we want this dot cups should become a cannot set property cups a game which only has a getter. That's interesting. Let me just check the syntax for getter and setter in JavaScript. JS class getter setter. I think it's probably just there we go. Set syntax. Nope. JavaScript ES6 class syntax. Yes, that's fine. That's nice. Get and set. There we go. All right. So we got. We can probably take that out actually, because cups should just be this dot cups. We'll expose it. It doesn't need a getter and a setter. It'll just be a public property. So there we go. Let's run that thing again. Save that. Run the thing again. That's now failing. Expect game current cup to equal expected 3, return 2. Okay, that's fine. I can chop out that current cup. We don't need that. I can say this dot current cup equals cups 0. And run the thing again, and it's failing. That needs to be this dot cups, because unlike .NET JavaScript, this things and class properties and variables are distinct, and they don't just kind of blend into one another. All right, so we've got a clean parse. Now we need a failing test on here. So that is fine. That is fine. Let's do a uncomment this chunk of code here. So test game plays one move. We're going to do let game equals new game, and I'm going to play this one based on the sample input that they provided to us, which is that one there. And then I'm going to say, all right, expect game.playMove, expect game.cups to equal that, and expect current cup to equal that. So failing. Right, what does playMove need to do? Let's have a look at our brief. So the crab picks up the 3 cups that are immediately clockwise of the current cup. So they are removed from the circle. Now I think there is a JavaScript array method that will do something very similar to what we want there, which is it's something like array.slice or array. Yeah. That's not quite what we want. Slice, splice. Yep, that's what I thought. So, yeah, so JavaScript arrays have a method called Splice. And the way that Splice works is, let's have a look at this. So if I bring up a console here, whack that up a bit, let's my array equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we've got an array there. My array is an array with 9 elements. Let's call it the 3 cards, because that's what it is, equals myArray.splice. And we want to start here at position. So 1 is 0, 2 is, so it's a 0 indexed array. So if we start at position 3 and we remove 3 cards from that, 3 cards is now the 4, 5, 6 that we chopped out of it. And myArray has got a hole in the middle because the 4, 5, 6 that we took out. So that method, you may see now why I thought JavaScript would be a fun language for doing today's Advent of Code assignment. So playMove. So first of all, let 3 cards equal, well, what do we got? We got the current card. Now, the thing that is going to make this interesting is the kind of clock modularity of the whole process. So let me have a look at the brief here. Which will be in there. 3 cups that are immediately clockwise of the current cup. So they're removed from the circle. So our index here, now this is where it gets a little bit gnarly, because I think this is going to blow up in a minute. Actually, what I'm tempted to do is to make a rule that says after everything we're going to rotate the array so the current cup is always at the beginning. So let index of current cup equal cups.index of, what is it, cups.find, cups.search, array.find JavaScript. Returns the value. No, I want the find index. Find the index of a value. Use, yeah, index of is what I wanted. Cups.index of this.current cup. Let 3 cards equal this.cups.splice. Index of current cup is going to be +1, and I want to remove 3 elements from that. Then what do we need to do is we need to destination cup is the cup with a label equal to the current cup's label -1. So and if we go below the lowest value, okay, so now we need to grab a destination cup. So let destination cup equals index of current equals current cup -1. But then we need to do this thing that says if it's not in there, then so while this.cups.index of destination cup, so while that is less than 0, so index of in JavaScript returns -1 if it couldn't find the thing. If we have a look over here, we got my array is 1, 2, so my array.index of 10 returns -1, whereas index 0 means it found it in the 0th element of that array. So while this.cups.index of destination cup equals is less than 0, destination cup -, and this means then if destination cup is greater than cups dot, is there an array minimum in JavaScript, or do I just donkey this by doing it with 0? Array minimum in JS, come on, there must be one now. No, not that, and not that, and oh god, we're on Stack Overflow. Math.min, math.max. I thought that this would have been let's ES 2018 array minimum method. I'm sure they added something, but no, we got flat, we got spread operator. All right, never mind. So destination cup -. Now I think for the risk of introducing a little bit of arithmetic complexity. So it's not geometric. It's not like making it 2 to the n times harder than it is. It's just going to introduce a couple of extra loops. If destination cup is less than 0, destination cup equals. Now this is interesting because we kind of need to know where to wrap around to. What's going to be the biggest value? And the assumption is that the cups are always going to be a sequence of integers. There'd be 5 cups labeled clockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm assuming that there's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n number of cups for what we've want. And so our this.cups equals that. This.maximum cup equals this.cups.length. So if we got 5 cups, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which have indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's all right. So if destination cup is 0, destination cup equals this.maximum cup. So that should go round and round and round. It finds the destination cup okay. Cup with a label equal, so we've implemented that chunk of logic there. You have all the numbers 1 to 9, so you can just modulo it. What do negative numbers do modulo in JavaScript? I guess they just work. Minus 10 mod 5 is negative 0. Minus 10 mod 6 is negative 4. So no, if the number ends up less than 0, modulus isn't going to fix it, because we're going to get negative moduloses, because, yeah. I think. Negative 0 is my favorite thing in JavaScript. It's like we haven't got any, but from the other direction. Yes, there is no way of telling whether negative 0 is positive 0 or not. Hello, Chris, testing Twitch, welcome. It's Node.js Day here on day 23 of the advent of code, and we can see your comment. If you compare 0 to negative 0, you get that. I just showed you there, look at that. But if we do object.equals, what's the object.equal? There should be a Anyway, I digress. Yes, negative 0 is not going to help us with what we're doing here. So we want to do a destination cup there, minus minus. So that should loop around, give us a destination cup out of the other side. And then the last thing that we need to do is we need to nope. Where's the browser with the puzzle that we're solving on the internet? Places the cups immediately clockwise of the destination cup. And then moves the current cup clockwise by 1 thing. So we've got current cup equals that. That's nice. That's all fine. So now I need to find let destination cup index equal this.cups.index of destination cup, which actually we've done a bunch of times already, so there's probably an optimization in there we can pick up. And now I need the JavaScript array Splice, because I think Splice also lets you add new elements into the position that you want. So we can say, yeah. So at this point, we now want to say, so that will do an in-place modification. So now this.cups.splice destination cup index plus 1, remove 0 elements, and put our 3. Why did I call them 3 cards? They're cups, not cards. 3 cups. Okay. So that needs to be this.cups, that's not compiling. And that needs to be this.currentCup. And that needs to all be okay. And if I make this, crank this up a little bit. That's interesting. So I'm expecting 32891, but what I got is 32 array of 891. Minus 0 less than 0 equals false, right? Let's here we go. Distractions, because that's what we do here. If -0 is less than 0, so hang on, let's just do -0 less than 0, then foo, otherwise bar. Bar, no, -0 is not less than 0. Yeah, imagine the opposite side of an infinitely thin piece of paper and measure the distance between them. Right. So this is interesting because 3 cups has that's not what I wanted. I want to add that. I want to splice a different array into place. JS splice array into other array. Yep. This is not entirely. If you don't want to concatenate any zoning items, first use a function.bind and function.apply together. Array.splice.bind null start index delete count dot apply new items array. That's what I want. I want the spread operator. Of course I do, because ECMAScript 6 loves us and wants us to be happy. So that will say, take this array and unpack it and turn it into something that we actually want here. And run that thing again and again, and why is that now blowing up? It's just blowing up on the current cup. So now I'm going to make an implementation decision. Yeah, I'm going to do exactly what Chris has just suggested. I've just seen that in the chat, but I thought of that already, which is we can rotate the array every time. So I'm gonna grab array dot cups, this dot cups dot what is it, pop, shift, unshift? What's the thing that pulls the first element off a JavaScript array? JS array, remove first element. Shift changes the length of the array. Yeah, that's what we want. That dot shift, and I actually want at this point to do this dot cups dot, and the thing to add it to the end of the array is push. So does array rotation copy around all the elements or just move a head pointer? It's kind of not really doing array rotation. Now at this point, yeah, at this point my input no longer actually matches what they've specified in the example, because I'm expecting that to be so the examples they've given us. Yeah, okay, this is fine. This is fine. Current cup to be 2, and I want to grab 3 on the end there. And expect game.current cup to be 2. So the last thing that I need to do here is this.current cup equals this.cups 0. But instead of assigning that every time, I can probably just say get current cup is this.cups 0 in every case. Because if the current cup is always the head of the list, that is never going to be necessary. I wish I could do that. Okay. Right, that worked. So let's drop in another test case. So go back over to our example here. We've got our, there it is. So that is move 2. Let's drop in move 3. So I'm expecting after we play another move, game.play move, and now I expect game.cups to equal that lot. But the 3 and the 2 are going to move on to the end, right? Because of the implementation decision that we just made about how we're going to keep track of 3 and 2 get pushed onto the end there, and expect game.currentCup to be 5. Comma in there, run that lot. 1 passed, 6 passed, tests are all working. Drop in 1 more move here. So we're expecting at the end of move 3. So we're going to play another round here. Game.play move. Expect game.cups to equal, and now we got, so the 7 to the 5, the 8 is going to be on the beginning. So there's that. 7 to 5. Clean up the formatting on that lot. Expect game.currentCup to be 8. Okay. I am now relatively confident that this implementation is behaving properly. Are there any gotchas in the what's name? So let's just plug in one more thing on here. So I'm gonna put in a method here that is test game plays 1 move. That works fine. Test game plays n moves. Let game equals new game on that input there. Copy that, drop that in over here. Game.play moves 10, and then we expect game.cups to equal. Now at this point, that 5 comes over to the end here. There's that 8 does not need to be parenthesized. That needs to be an array literal. Expect game.currentCup to equal 8. Okay, grab that lot. That's gonna blow up because game.playMoves doesn't exist. So let's go into game and play moves. Count is gonna do for var I. Actually, we can count is how many moves we want to play. So just for var equals 0. I is less than count I plus plus. Play move. Boom, 7 passed. We got the correct output. Okay, so I now need to start a new program here. That should not be there. I don't know where this Yarg stuff keeps coming from. So I'm going to crib that line there. New file. There's that. Save this as program.js. I'm going to say var game equals let game equals new game, and this is going to be on my input, which is here, right? Game.play moves 100, and console.log game. What do they want to know? What are the labels on the car? We got to do another interesting thing. So we got to start after the cup labeled 1. So we got to go. Okay, that's interesting. So let's stick a method on here now. So this is gonna be a drop in a copy of that. Game equals that, and expect game dot. Did they give that thing a name? Game dot solution to be. Now at this point it wants us to stick them all together into a string with no extra characters. So the solution to this one should be so the 1 gets left out, that doesn't get included. So 2, 5, 4, 6, 7, 3, 8, 9 is what we are expecting the solution to be that we get at the end of that puzzle. This is going to say game.solution does not exist, which is fine because we have not written it yet. So game.cs solution. Now for this thing here, we are going to say it's cup 1 we want, isn't it? So we want to grab the array dot could do it using subarrays. We could do it using all kinds of things. It might be actually easier just to do it with a couple of loops on here. No, let me see what's the other array substring. JS subarray. So array.slice is what we want. Yeah, returns the selected elements. So var cutoff threshold limit. What do we want to call the point where we cut something? Var cut equals this.cups.index of 1. So we want to grab everything after that. So we're going to say take this.cups.slice cut plus 1 all the way up to the end of the array dot concat with this.cups.slice from 0 to cut that's going to give us an array, and then we just want to do is it array.join in what's the array join syntax in JavaScript? Array join syntax. As you can tell from watching the stream here, there's a bunch of stuff that I always know exists, but I can never remember how to type it off the top of my head. The join method is an array.prototype.join. Join on the empty string because it wants to return nothing, so we just want to return that. And that's interesting. Return this.cups.slice on that .concat this.cups.cut.join.that should do the thing. Received function solution, that needs to be a getter because we want to see what it is instead of running the thing. There we go. 8 passed. Okay, so now we should be able to come over here. Console.log game.solution. Okay, all good. How are we doing? That's 1 hour and 17 minutes, but that's all right because it's JavaScript, so the arithmetic is not precise anyway. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to do node run program.js. What? Cannot find module. Node program.js. There is no thing there. That looks like our solution. Let's run it. See what we get. That is the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer. Continue to part 2. Due to what you can only assume is a mistranslation. Oh, hilarity ensues. $1 million cups, 10 million moves. $1 million cups, 10 million moves. So, after that, the remaining cups are just numbered starting from the number after the highest number. Okay. So, kick things off, I'm just going to noddy the thing and see what we get spat out the other side. So I got, where's my game? My game is here. Constructor input, that's fine. And I'm going to pass in here a input and limit. So there's that. This dot cups equals that lot. This dot maximum cup equals whatever. So then if limit is greater than this dot cups dot right, hang on. Red, green, refactor, test first. So I want to write a new test in here. So I'm going to say game loads various cups correctly. So I'm going to extend, grab another copy of this thing here. And I'm going to drop this in here. And I'm going to say Dance tries various cups correctly in nightmare difficulty mode. So cases here, 1, 1, current cup doesn't matter. This is not going to be the limit. This is what we want. So that should be 10, that should be 10, that should be 10, and let's bung that one in at 20. And so the limit on that one should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If there are 1 million cups starting at 1, they do go to, yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And finally, this one, 3, 8, 9, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if I pass in that cup expected cup limit, I do not like the order of these parameters. I'm going to switch these around because I can. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, a new game input, and now I want to pass in the limit there as well. Yeah, we got failing stuff, expected 20, and that should be input limit expected cups. Should be fine, there's that. And okay, so yeah, let's run the whole thing again. Failed. Yep, expected limit what? That comes out. Yep, expected that array received. Yeah, so there's 9 elements missing from the array there that we should have got, but we didn't. I think the all right. So there's that limit, and now I want to say if limit is greater than this dot cups dot length. We can do a fun thing here. We can do a So the easiest way in JavaScript of getting a load of numbers in an array that looks like every element contains its own index is we do a new array limit dot map every element goes to, so we're not using a value index, goes to index plus 1. So take a look at this. If we throw this up in a console so you can see what it does, we've got this, clear that lot, scrub that lot. So if we say new array 5 dot map that, and that comes back as we need to fill it first. Because new array of 5 doesn't have anything in it. And if I do a new array of one. No. Dot fill dot length. Boom. There we go. Okay, so that's an array of 1,000,000 elements. Not a big deal. Not really. So now the difficulty is that thing there, we want to mess with the first couple of elements of it by replacing them. So no, that's right. I know what we can do here. So we're going to say let cups equals that. If limit is greater than cups dot length, actually, let's just say let cups equal that. Let I think we can say let cups equals new array limit or 0 dot fill on 0 dot map array element goes to so we want value is discarded index, that goes to index +1. That'll give us the whole thing, and then I just want to do a cups dot splice. From 0, I want to remove, so let cups equals that, input.split equals that. Let's call that extra all cups, big cups, long cups. Cupola equal that, let cups equals that. Cupola dot splice, so starting at element 0, please remove cups dot length elements and then spread operate the cups in place where they are, and then this dot cups equals cupola, this dot maximum cups equals that. Blew up, failed. Why did it fail? Because that is not a thing in the JavaScript. Fail, interestingly. Why did that fail? Run the whole thing again. Current cup is not defined. Why not? Oh, because I just got a bug in the test, because I'm stupid. That is no longer necessary. That's just the head of the array every time. Okay, we got a pass on that, so we can now. That's kind of working. So well, I'm interested now. Let game equals new game. So let's say function solve part 1 is this. Function solve part 2 is this. Return new game of that. $1,000,000. Game.play moves right. So I want to get somewhere. Typed an extra a where. There. Thank you, Marty. All right. So I'll try something a second, because I don't just want to YOLO this, and after 2 minutes I don't know whether to let it run or not. So I'm going to do a so new array, and I'm going to say, right, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 dot for each moves is going to map on to var commenced equals new date. That's fine. Dot value of fine. Game equals new game. That thing. Game dot play moves. Var concluded equals new date. Dot value of console.log. And I wanna, yep, okay, ooh, interesting. So what I want to do here is I'm going to console.log the Where was I? Oh yeah, that's concluded. So console.log, backtick there, dollar doing moves, tab, dollar ding, concluded, minus commenced. Ding, that's fine. Run that, okay, and then I'm gonna go close that. I'm gonna go solve part 2. Now what this is gonna do, it won't give me the answer, but it'll give me some numbers I can crunch in and get some idea how long it might take to run 10 million moves on the system that I got here. So program.js, that is rapidly getting a little bit gnarly. So I'm guessing big O of n, factor of 10 increase. Yeah, look at that. That's linear as hell. But well, that's enough. That's certainly enough data that we can fire up Excel, the programming language of champions, and I can say and I want to paste special. I want to paste that as text, and then I want to, where's the data convert thing in Excel? Text to columns. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine. Delimited on a tab. Next, yep, finish. All right. What? No, come on. Text to columns. Yes. Delimited. Yes. Tab. Yes. Okay, it reckons their spaces, whatever. Column format general, that's fine. Finish on that. So this is my input size. This is my runtime. So we could do a equals, so what's that divided by that, and what's that divided by that, and what's that divided by that, and equals what's that divided by that, and we could do a quick whatever the variance we've got on those things is, but it's converging on something around 0.45 ish, so we can probably, with a reasonable degree of ballpark on that, say that, well, this one here is gonna be, let's crunch it and say it's gonna be the average of $C, $2, $C, $4, $C, $5 multiplied by, no, don't do that. Runtime is going to be, I'll call it 4.5. What the hell? 4.5 times that. So there's 100,000. I think is our right one there, and then what's the thing in Excel to turn? Well, it's going to be that lot divided by 1,000 is going to give you seconds. I could probably work that out. No, copy that thing. Copy, paste, paste. Equals that divided by 60 is, so that's seconds. This is minutes. 715 minutes is a shade over 10 hours. So 12 hours, 12 and a half hours. Right. Right. We're going to have to use algorithms. So. It would, but I got stuff I need to do tonight that I'm going to be using those CPU cycles for. I've got to record a musical interpretation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol set to the tune of O Little Town of Bethlehem in 4-part close barbershop harmony. That's not a joke. That's actually what I'm doing tonight. So, right. Now we gotta be able to crunch this thing. So, what do we got? Marty threw data structures at the problem instead of algorithms. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm wondering is there must be some... So this is a naive solution at the moment. We've just turned the rules of the game into a bunch of steps. We're running those steps in the code, and that's what's giving us back our answer. But the problem is, that's stupid. And it's not working very well. So what I want to do now is a circular linked list combined with a hash map for order 1 lookup of nodes. So right, I just want to, I need to kind of turn this problem over in my hands a bit, or figure it out a little bit. I want to do some debug stuff. So I'm going to stick a thing on here, which is game.playMove, and I'm going to put a, game dot, we'll call it, dump, describe toString. toString, that's a nice name for things, isn't it? So game.toString, and we want to return, so that will be return this.cups.map. Cup goes to, well, current cup is always the one at the beginning, isn't it? So it doesn't actually matter. My current cup is always going to be the head. So this.cups.join, and I'm just going to join them using this. And that's all I'm going to do here. That's fine. And now in my play moves, I'm going to say for that equals count this.playMove and console.log this.toString is fine. There's that. So now if I jump back over, no, I don't want to, where's my program.js? I don't want to do the whole thing with the tens and the millions and all that kind of nonsense. But I am interested in seeing if I turn that up to be like 30, actually let's go with 20 elements. So there's that lot, that's running, and now let me go over here, and I'm gonna, that's still churning away. So if I do node program.js, clear that, let's whack up the size on that a little bit. Because you folks are on the internet, and I'm getting old. So node program.js, there we go. Moves is not defined. Let's run that for 100 moves, or let's run that for 10 moves. So boom, okay. That can come out. We don't need that. We don't need that. Those don't matter anymore. Clear that. Run that. So there's two approaches we can take here. We can work out if there is some way of Hey Marcus, yeah, JavaScript and Node.js today. Today, at a very brief glance this morning, it looked like the splice operator on arrays might be useful. So I decided to do it in Node. We had a little bit of a slow start to get Jest up and running, so we could do unit testing on the implementation. I say we, you know, I'm the one doing most of the work here. The folks on the stream are being very helpful and supportive as always. But yeah, my partner hates it when I use the royal we. Oh, we did this. She's like, no, you did that by yourself. It was just you. So, yeah. Linked list suddenly feels, well, yeah, distraction is good. If you concentrate too hard, your brain melts. One of the things that I've always enjoyed about kind of doing, I love doing like projects for small companies because I do a lot of different stuff. I do programming and I do a little bit of, you know, kind of web layout. I'm not a designer, but I can do CSS and front end. I know my way around Photoshop and Illustrator and database admin, and it's amazing how much longer it takes to get bored when you're like, okay, I'm a bit stuck on this. All right, I got this piece of Photoshop work I can do now for half an hour. And then you come back to that, and then you're like, all right, that's done. Let me have a look at the database logs. Okay, that's fine. And just kind of keep turning things over. Yeah, it's a little bit of a chaotic way to work, but there are certain kinds of problems that actually work, or certain kinds of, you know, requirement projects. That's the word I'm looking for. Some kinds of projects actually work very, very well when you can just kind of shuffle from one bit to the other, to the other, to the other, and keep engaging different bits of your brain. Right, what do we got here? 872.495. So we're grabbing the 8. The 784 are coming out. The 9 gets dropped in there. The yeah. At a glance, I do not see any neat algorithmic way of solving this whole thing. I'm sure there's some kind of numerical analysis you could do on it. The other thing that I'd be interested is whether there's any repeating patterns or any repeating sub-patterns that you can be like, I've seen this chunk of inputs before, you know, are there any loops? Now, I'm guessing that with 1 million inputs and 10 million games, we are never going to get cycles. We're not going to get anything out of there. So I think Marty's suggestion is probably the right one, that what we need to do is we can't turn the big problem into a little problem. We just got to build something that can hit the big problem with a really, really big hammer. So why is this slow? Where are the things that are slowing it down? Now, this is the point where I want to see, hang on, let's, I've never done any JavaScript performance profiling on Node.js before, but I'm sure it must exist, so I'm going to type it into Node.js performance profile. What I want to do is find easy profiling for Node.js applications. The easiest option, profiler inside V8, samples the stack. That's fine. Tick profiler, yeah. Node minus prof. Let's run. So I'm gonna give it. Let's give it an input that's a reasonable, like something it can get its teeth into a little bit. So I'm gonna run 1,000 inputs and I'm gonna run 1,000 moves on that. This now, by the way, is me randomly running stuff I just found on the internet. Node minus prof program.js. That was helpful. I think you'll all agree that showed us exactly what we needed to do. What? Where did the output? Let me take a comment out that line in our that thing, so that can go, because we're not looking for patterns anymore. So we're gonna hoik that thing out. There's that. And okay, what is this node minus prof nonsense? Of course, that's not gonna work because yay, Windows. I do have a Windows subsystem for Linux, but I broke it because I had to install Docker. A tick file was generated. Ooh, apparently there's a tick file. What do we got? Oh, look at those. There's log files. So start that. Do you know about start, by the way? Start in Windows, if you're on a console and you type start, it's the equivalent of double-clicking on something. So if you start something.jpg, it'll open a photo viewer. And if you type start space folder name, it'll open it in Explorer. And if you just type start on its own, it'll open a console window in the thing you're at. And on macOS, open does the same thing. Scrub those, back over here, run that again, node prof program.js. And let's have a look at this in a... actually, I'll open it in code. There we go. That is about as much use as a... I don't want to see all the code from all the people on the internet who built the node. I want to see my methods. Show me my methods. Does anyone know how to read this? Because it certainly looks very exciting. So there's a fantastic tool for .NET that I currently wish I was using, which is the Ants Profiler, which will literally bring up your code and it'll color code the lines that are slow. Ants Profiler for Node.js, I'm guessing, is bringing up nothing, because there is probably not an Ants Profiler equivalent for Node.js. All right, let's run this thing again. So there's that. No. So what are we looking for? That article is of no use whatsoever. Node.js performance profile. Let's have another look. Clinic.js is a suite of tools to pinpoint Node.js performance things. That looks... No. Flames. That's what we want. Flame graphs. Learn more. Yes. Boom. Text off the internet, paste it into the console window. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, actually, let's do a quick git commit first. Git commit -m solved part 1 and upgraded to nightmare difficulty. Git add dot would help, wouldn't it? And then we can commit, and then we can do a git push. Right, boom. Paste anyway. Yes, npm install -g clinic. Thank you very much. Run all the things. Isn't Node not at all slightly worrying when you look at the amount of stuff it has to install to do anything? You reckon this is going to install more than 1,000 modules? While that's running, I'm going to find something that I want to install here. CLock for Windows. Clock, count lines of code. There we go. Latest release on GitHub. Yes, please. That's fine. No, I want the binaries. Windows binary clock generated with parpacker. Yeah, that's... give me a Windows executable of this thing. That's what I want. It's on Chocolatey. How nice. Yep, okay, I understand. Do I have Chocolatey installed? 674 packages, 403 contributors. That's not supported. That has been deprecated. Every day is a fun day in the wonderful world of... right. So, clinic flame minus node. clinic flame minus minus node program.js. Yeah, of course you can send anonymous things. Well, that's the definite interesting thing that I wanted to see here. Hottest frame of 17. That's yeah. So that, I'm concerned, is still taking a significant amount of time, such that the file system operations are heavier. 11 days. Well, time for a rewrite. Well, you can just wait until they invent a computer that can do 11 days of work in 4 hours. So let's just go into my program here, and I'm going to crank these up to be a little gnarlier. What did we have? We put in 1,000,000 elements. One, not. And then we ran a game. So if I do that again, clinic flame minus node program. Okay, that should have taken significantly longer than that. Cannot find. What? Oh, it blew up because it can't run the program. I need to be in the folder where my code is, don't I? That makes programs work better. No program.js. Okay, so that looked like so now we want a clinic flame minus node program.js. Let's see what we get. Okay. Show me how to use this. Yes, please. Welcome to the flame graph. Each block represents the time spent executing calls to a function. The wider the block, the more time was spent. Double-clicking on a block expands it and its children. Okay. A hot function. A lot of time was spent. Yeah, we know that's a hot function. That's fine. The hottest function. Yeah, that's fine. That's alright. That's alright. Functions by heat. Code area. Yep. Advanced options. Done. Okay, so solve part 2 called play moves, called play move. I want to see what's inside that. So let's have a look at next hottest was Babel, Game.js. That's fine. This is not giving me what I was hoping to be able to see. What I was hoping to be able to see is a sort of line-by-line breakdown showing me which elements of my program or which lines are... let me spin that up. So there's all that lot. There's the Node.js. No, that's not what we want. I just want my code here. There we go. Take that out. Take that out. Okay. So all this is saying is that play move is the slowest function that we got. Because I guess everything else in there then comes into the V8 runtime. Which says it spent a lot of time in the shared libraries, which does not really help us a huge amount. Runtime native, yeah, that's fine. What I want is clock timing, like wall clock timing for... you have a new computer sat next to you, Chris, and you haven't built it yet. How? How do you have the willpower to not immediately build the new computer? Right, let me eyeball this thing and see if I can work out what might be making it slow. So... Right. Index of, I'm thinking, is probably a bad idea. because index of is gonna do a scan. It's gonna do an index scan, which means it's order n, because the array is not sorted, so it needs to scan every element to find it. So what we really want to do is so index of current cup equals this dot cups dot index of current cup. That's never going to happen. Index of current cup's never going to happen. Current cup is always going to be 0, right? So we are always going to, first of all, we're always going to splice 1, 3, because that, our current cup is always at the head of the array. Destination cup equals this current cup minus 1. So yeah, that's whatever this current cup is. That's fine. Well, this dot cups dot index of destination. So this thing here is gnarly now. So this is the thing that says, does that exist in our the set of cups we're looking at? Does the one we've got here, are we trying to find a cup that we've just taken out of play? Is one of the cups that we've taken out of there a thing that's not allowable? So I'm gonna throw in a new thing here. I'm gonna say this dot cup, so that's all fine. That builds the cups array. That's not too bad. This dot cups equals that. I'm gonna say this dot cup indexes equals a new map. But no, even that is not going to work because cups keep moving around. So rebuilding the whole array every time is going to be gnarly. I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I'm going to grab some more water. Actually, I may grab a coffee. We'll make it a 5-minute break. I'm going to be back in 5, folks. Stretch your legs, grab a drink. I'll see you in 5 minutes. We'll work out how to do this thing. Hello, right. So, what I've been trying to figure out is the things, the operations that Instinct tells me are going to be slow here are the destination cup index and figuring out where we want to put that stuff. Now, there is a map in JavaScript, which is a high-performance hash map structure. What I'm trying to figure out is what is the best way of applying a map to the way that the game works, such that, because when you like insert 3 things into a list of 1,000,000 cups, the other cups all then get bumped by a certain amount, and some kind of linked list structure might make this thing easier to implement. Let me just do a little bit of digging. I'm also now regretting doing this in JavaScript. No, I don't want to write a linked list. No, I'm not building a linked list from scratch. No, not a thing. So, what? We got our list of cups. Do I need a list? Maybe I need a list. I mean, we could build a linked list. It just strikes me as a little bit odd that in this day and age, the best way to do this would be to build a linked list in JavaScript. And that would somehow be faster than doing it using the built-in array syntax that we've got here. What the hell? It's a list of numbers, isn't it? List of value equals no, that's fine. So we got a constructor on our linked list thing. We got a this next, this previous, this dot value. So let's plug in a constructor on a node will take a previous node and a value. This dot previous equals prev node. This dot prev dot next equals this. This dot value equals value. That's fine. So so now we, in theory, couple or equals new that cups equals input dot split on that cups dot splice. So this dot cups now is gonna be this dot cups equals I want to turn that array into a linked list of nodes. So a list is gonna be a this dot prev dot next. So I'm gonna plug in a thing there that says if this dot prev dot next equals this. So you set your previous to the previous one. You set your this dot previous is next to this one. So that gives you the back pointer, that gives you the forward pointer. Drop the value in the middle, move on to the next one, tell it the previous one, that links forwards to this one. Okay, that should do what we need. So let's do a very, very quick, thanks a lot for tuning in, Marty. It's good to see you. Take it easy, dude. So we now need to okay, cupola.splice on that. Not cups.length, cups. By the way, folks, if I'm still going at 7, I've learned this the hard way. If I'm still going at 7, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have an evening with food and go for a walk and stuff. And we'll be back on late tonight to finish the last bit. Lars, hello, welcome. How are you? Good to see you. So we've got a cupola.splice is now the thing. So now we want to do a we need to create some kind of node. Yeah, cut cups out and put them somewhere else. It should just be a matter of shuffling pointers around. So we should now be able to, yeah, I think we can do that as a method on the node class, which is part of the list class. So let me figure this thing out. So first of all, do it really, really stupid donkey way. For int I equals 9. I'm just trying to get my head around how to do this in a map operation. Actually, maybe cupola dot for each. And this is gonna take a value index, and it is gonna go like so we now want to spin up a cupola for each value index is gonna go to a let n equals new node, and this node is going to take previous node for whatever that was, and the value is going to be the value. That's fine. How the hell do you turn a list of arrays or an array of ints into a linked list of ints? My basic computer science education is currently failing me horribly. So let n be a new node which has a previous node and a value, which means previous node here is gotta be a right. Stop. Cupola.splice. Cupola is now a massive list of integers. That's what it is. Cupola is now like a 1, 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 7, 9, dot, 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 up to 100 million, whatever we got on there. Okay. So we need to turn that into a var root, var head, head of the list, That's a good place to start. Header equals new node. Previous node is null, and value of that is gonna be whatever the first element in cupola is. Okay, this is looking promising. And now we want to say for var I equals 1, I is less than cupola dot length I plus plus. Var tail equals new node head and cupola, which, by the way, I know a cupola has nothing to do with cups. It's a thing you look out of on a space station or something. But yeah, it'll do. Tail equals a new node, head of cupola, and then head equals tail. So that is just gonna keep on going round and round and round and round and round. So then this dot cups equals head. Okay. And that'll give us a head goes to, so head.next, 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 head.next. So that'll give us the scanning backwards and forwards on the whole linked list operation thing. So previous node, next node, this dot value, that's all kind of fine. So we need some kind of search operation, which we'll need to plug in on this as well. This dot maximum cup is going to be, we can change the implementation of that one so that maximum cup is going to be a head. So that's going to be a node now. So this dot cups equals head, but the last thing that we need to do is we need to kind of connect this list around. Paper time. Boom. Let's do that. Right. So we've got a node here, which I've drawn wrong because I'm stupid. So value is in here, and we got previous, we got next. Okay. So value is gonna be, well, let's look at our actual puzzle input and see what's the data structure we're gonna build. So value there is gonna be, let me zoom that in a tiny bit. There we go. That's interesting. That's, there we go. That's what we want. So, right. Value is 8. Next element in the list. So then I want to create, so head now points to here, okay? Then I'm going to create a new node, which is this one here. And for that node, I am going to plug in, that's going to be a 7. That node's previous is a reference to that one. I'm going to plug in a new node here. This one is going to be 2. The previous is a reference to that one. And when I wire that one up, that next pointer there is going to wire itself in like that. That's going to give me another one here, which is going to be 8724. The previous pointer on that one is going to point over here, which means that the next one on here is going to point to that. Drop in another one, 87249. Previous pointer there is going to point to that one. Next is going to point to whatever we got here, which will be 5, and we got 1, 3, 6 are the last 3 things in our list. So 5 has got previous points to 9 and next points to 1. Previous points to 5, next points to there, previous points to there, next points to there, previous to there. And finally, we need to wire up the last bit of the list with this one here. So that head. So we need to keep a reference there to whatever the current cup was. So let's have a look at our program code again. We've got the cupola is there, cups equals input dot split, that's splice on that. Var head equals that one, and var, so at this point we can say node equals new node, and that one is gonna be tail, and then here we want to say tail equals node. So let node be that, and let tail be that, and that should I equals 1, as couple of that's fine. So node equals new node, tail equals node. So node equals new node. Now tail equals, so at that point we need, yeah, at that point var tail equals head. That's fine. Var node equals that. That's going to give us the list, and then right at the end we are going to say head dot next, no, head dot previous equals whatever the last value of tail was, and tail dot next equals head. That should be right. Now let's do a quick implement on here. So I'm gonna do a fast move through the list thing. What do we want to call it? Traverse in limit console.log this.value. Int does not need to be there because this is JavaScript. Console.log this.value. This.next.traverse. So if limit equals 0, return. Yep, that's fine. This.next.traverse limit minus minus. That should give us relatively good tail recursion because it shouldn't need to allocate because yeah, that should be okay. So I want to now just run this in a program. So game equals new game on that. Let's hack that out. Hey, Pirizuka? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, streaming Advent of Code every day. And today we're doing it in JavaScript, and we're having to write linked lists, and it's just like being back in college again. So I want to spin up a new, in my game test thing over here. At the moment, everything's failing because I've completely broken all my code, which is not the ideal way to approach these kinds of things. So cupola equals new that. This.cups equals head. This.maximum cup equals head. So I think at this point, solve part 2. I'm just going to dump in a new, so new game on 4, 5, 6. So game 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to say that is going to be, actually, let's put this backwards. 3, 2, 1, and we're going to make it 10 elements long. And then I want to do a game dot cups dot traverse, and I want to make that to 20, let's say. So I should now get that whole list being dumped out twice onto the screen. So I just node program.js here. There we go. That's interesting. That's producing a lot more elements than I thought it was going to. So and that's never minus minusing. There, that's better. Although why that initial one terminated, I have absolutely no idea. So 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm still, I always do that. I'm sorry. There we go. Thank you. Art of Code actually failed you to get your shit together after a failed test at university and study harder. Wow. That's pretty cool. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad that my getting up on stage and noodling around with fractal geometry and esoteric languages has furthered your education. All right, so we've got a linked listy kind of a thing here that we can do now. So, that should be fine. Maximum cup equals head. That all appears to have resolved itself rather fruitfully. So play moves now is what do I want to do is I want to find it's the current cup, isn't it? So drop out 3 cups. So current cup points to the one we're actually pointing at. So 3 cups head equal this dot current cup dot next. Okay, so that one's there. Now I need to grab that one. So 3 cups head. This is the stuff I need to remember how to do. So we want to this dot current cup dot splice 3. Hey Yulia, yeah, it was. We fixed that, but now I see how the YouTube latency is working right now. Right, so I'm gonna put a method on here. I'm gonna put a method on Splice, which has a number, which is a count of how many things we want to splice. So what Splice is gonna do is it is gonna take the next element on the list. It is gonna remove count elements from the list starting after this element. So node.splice. So first of all, it's gonna go and return the list sublist that was removed. So which needs to be recursive, because of course it does. So splice on a count is if count equals 1, let node equals this dot next. Okay. This dot next equals this dot next equals node dot next. Node dot previous equals null. Node dot skip that one. Node dot previous is null. Node dot next equals null. Return node. So that'll return a completely disconnected node. If we chop one element out of the list, it'll give it back to us. If count equals 1, do that. Else, so folks, if you're watching on like YouTube or something, if you do a hard refresh and bring the stream live, you should get the best latency we get on YouTube is about 10 seconds. And the best on Twitch is about 4 seconds. But it is possible if you kind of pause it and then start playing it again, you can end up way behind, at which point you can still chat, but of course you're going to be talking about stuff that happened like 5 minutes ago. So I'm working on how we disable the streams for disable the thing for that. So if you're watching live, you're actually live. Otherwise, you can catch it on the replay. Right. So if a count is 1, this node equals that. This dot next equals node dot next. So grab that one and copy that one to that one. And then node.previous equals null, that equals null, hoik that one out. Otherwise, this is where it gets slightly complicated. So if count equals 2, else let tail this dot does this need to be recursive? Could this just be done in a loop? Okay, yeah, Louis says on YouTube, after it stutters, click the live button to sync up again. There's a live button. That's kind of exciting. Tail equals this dot. Actually, no. I think we can probably do this. So node is this dot next. This dot next equals node dot next. Yeah, that's fine. Node previous. Right. So for var I equals naught, I is less than count I plus plus. So if count is 0, no does anything. If count is 1, it's going to run the loop exactly once. Node dot, we got a sublist that we want to take out. Var head equals this dot next. That's the head of our sublist. For that, var tail equals this dot. No. Tail equals tail dot next. Okay, so this gives us then the head and the tail of the thing that we want to remove. Tail equals, okay, so tail equals head of that there. That makes sense. That's fine. And then when we get to the end of the loop, we want to say this dot next equals tail dot next. Tail's the last thing we want to chop out. So we need to say tail dot next dot previous equals this. This dot next equals tail dot next. So that'll chop that out and return head. Head dot previous equals null. Tail dot next equals null. Return head. Okay. So I just need to, I want to put some testing around this because we're not doing some fairly gnarly stuff here. So I'm gonna create a new, I want to grab that, I want to grab that, new file, copy that over here. Describe linked list tests. That goes to test Splice works. Goes on to we want to create a new hello. So Julia, I'm gonna count 3, 2, 1. When I say 0, you say hello, and then I'll tell you how long that takes to come through. You ready? 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're waiting, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chris says hello. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 seconds. There we go. That's pretty good. That's the latency. All right. Good. That's about as good as YouTube gets. Sometimes on a good day it gets better. I've never worked out quite how. All right, Splice works. So we are going to... I'm actually going to stick a new thing on here on node. I'm going to put... So we got a constructor on there that allows us to create new nodes. But a static node dot build list is going to take input here, which is a set of string of integers. And I'm going to say, grab that lot, grab that lot, grab that lot. And so this thing here is going to build a list from an array of integers. So build a list from ints. So actually that just can be array, can't it? So head equals new node of array 0. Tail equals head for array.length, node equals new node, tail equals node, head.previous is tail, tail.next, return head. That should give us back linked lists. It's a static, so I should be able to jump over here now, and in my new program that I haven't given a name yet, save that as list.test.js. So test that Splice works. This is gonna go to a node dot const game equals require game. I actually need to plug in that and that because game equals that. Class node module dot exports equals game and node. Okay, game node equals require that. Node.build list from an array, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is fine. So var list equals that. List var chunk equals list.splice 3. Chunk dot... Did I have a thing on a list that would dump the whole thing out to the console? I probably should have done. That would have been useful. Chunk dot traverse... I need a dump method in here, so I need a dump, and it is going to take node, and this is going to say if node equals this, return, otherwise return this dot value plus that plus dump this. Node equals this, return. Yep, that's fine. It's going. We're building linked lists. So if node equals this, return. Yeah, otherwise we say if node equals null, node equals this. Yeah, that's fine. Return this dot value plus something plus this. Okay, chunk dot console dot log. Chunk.dump and console.log list.dump, and I should not have put this in a test because I want to actually run it and see what it does. Let's comment out that that's not necessary. That's there, and const game node equals require that. Let me do a node program.js. Run that. Cupola is not defined. Why not? Where was cupola? No. That should be array I. Yeah, that should. Node equals that. Tail equals node. think I can just do that. 2 undefined. Why undefined? Cannot read property dump of null. If node equals this, return. Empty string is the base case of this return. If this dot next equals null, return that. If node equals this, that can actually be an OR statement. So if we've reached the end of the list, or we've come full circle on a linked list, that should be fine. Run that. Okay, run that again. So 2, 3, 4 and 1, 6, 7, 8. Let me have a look at my code for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are out. 5 has got lost in the mix. So list.splice 3, 2, 3, 4. 1's next should be set to 5. So list game.js, our linked list implementation here. So head equals this dot next. Yep, that's our 2. Tail equals head is set to 2. While var is less than i.count, tail goes to tail.next. Yeah, that's alright. So then the tails next previous is set to this. This dot next is set to tail dot. What's this dot next set to here? 2, 3, 4. So that's good. Let me just check out a second. So next tells it had previous. Yep. It's null. Tail next is null. That I guess has got the right stuff out of it. It's just the this dot next is tail dot next should probably be tail dot previous dot next. Let me check that one out. No, that's wrong too. That's 2, 3, 4. What is tail here? Tail dot next. So this should chop at 3 elements. Tail equals tail dot next. Tail is tail dot next. Tail dot next. So at that point, tail dot next dot previous equals this. But we need to set this next to confused I am. Let me look at my program again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. List.splice 3. Let me take a look at the code for dump here. So dump had a this dot value plus that plus this dot next dot dump node, and that's going to return an empty string. So hang on. If this dot next equals null, return this dot value. If node equals this, return I think it's not a bug in my code, it's a bug in my output code. Yeah. So the bottom one, the linked list loop is happening. So I need a Splice has taken too many elements. So list.splice of 3. 1 is the head. I'm expecting this to give me back 2, 3, 4 and leave 1, 5, 6, 7, 8 in place in the list. So in my game program.js, or my implementation, which is here, probably that. No, right. Head equals this dot next. Tail equals head. I plus tail equals tail dot next. That's taken too many elements. Why is it taking too many elements? Because I've grabbed the first one already, I think. Yeah, that's what I want. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just fix the thing in that dump function there. So if this dot next equals null, or node dot next equals this, return this dot value. So node equals null, null use this. If this dot next equals null, or node dot next equals this, return this dot value. Nope. Linked lists are hard to reason about. So if this dot next is null, it means we got to the end of a list. If that happens, return this dot value. If node is not equal to null and node dot next equals this, we've reached the end of a circular list. Return this dot value. Do not recurse. There we go. Node not equals null and node dot next. What? No. Node not equal to null and node dot next equals this, return this dot value. If node equals null, see, that's working up to a point, but I'm getting 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm getting a 1 back on the end here. And I don't want to be getting that back because that should be, let me do this. Yeah, so at that point, when we get to node 8, node 8's next should be 1. It's the wrong way around. If node not equals null, so if this dot next equals node, return, I think that'll do. That's what we want. Return this dot value. So if this dot next equals null, or this dot next equals node, cool. All right, that's our dump function. If node equals null, node equals this, so capture it. That'll stop us infinite looping. Now we can dump out linked lists, and that splice function appears to be yielding the correct behavior. And I just want to do a to array on a node, and this is going to have exactly the same behavior. If this dot next equals null, return this dot value. If node equals null, node equals this, and this is going to return this dot value dot concat this dot next dot dump node. So that should give me a way of taking a linked list, turning it into an array, which is just useful for doing various kinds of debugging stuff. So I can now in my program console.log chunk.toArray and list.toArray. That's doing some concatenation somewhere that it should not be doing. No, it's not. It's that needs to be a toArray on there. It's recursing on the wrong function. Okay, so we got a linked list that I can turn into arrays, and the arrays don't loop, but the linked lists do, and that's all fine. And that thing there is still failing, but never mind. I don't really care. Right. So I'm going to have a look at our game. I think I can now just say let cupola equals new array limit that, let cups equals input.split, cupola.splice on that. Cupola is now a big old thing. That whole lot can come out. And this dot cups equals node dot build list from cupola, and this dot maximum cup equals this dot cups because it's the head, it's the top of the list. That's the thing we're looking at. So how do we play a game? So first of all, this dot current cup is now no longer a thing. That's something we need to know. This dot current cup is something that we need to actually take into account now. That needs to be an explicit thing. So play move. So let 3 cups equal this dot current cup dot splice by 3. Now that's fine. That takes that out. Destination cup equals this dot current cup minus 1. We need to find that element. So let dest equal this dot cups dot find this dot current cup minus 1. So, and now find is another recursive linked list method. We've got find value. If this dot value equals value, return this. Return this dot next dot find value. Now that's assuming that we've got. I'm going to put a guard clause in there for that thing as well. Find value, because that's going to loop forever. If we ask it to find something that doesn't exist in the loop, it's going to loop infinitely. So I'm going to throw in a find value and node, and if this value equals value, return this. But by a similar thing, if this dot next equals null, or this dot next equals node, return null. No, hang on. If this equals node, return null. We never found it. So that means we go in full circle. If node equals null, node equals this, return, if this dot value equals value, return this. Otherwise, find value node. That's fine. But we can stick that in at the top. So if this dot value equals value, return this. Find the node who has the value with the thing that we just specified. So destination equals this dot cups dot find this dot current cup minus 1. So let destination cup label equals this dot current cup dot value -1. Yeah, that's what we want. It's the destination cup is the current cup's value -1, and while so let dest cup equal null, while dest cup equals null, dest cup equals this dot cups dot find dest cup label should actually be that. So it starts with current cup value, knocks 1 off, loops on it. Dest cup equals this dot cups dot find dest cup label. So that's fine. Dest cup find. That'll go round and round and round and round and round. Should find it eventually. That replaces that chunk of code there. So now what I need to do is to implement a yeah, this should be pretty nice actually. So I just need a method now. I've got a splice method there, and I need a method on here called insert list, and it is gonna say this dot next equals list, list dot prev equals this, so that splices that one in there. And then I need to find the end of the list and tie it onto whatever this dot next is. Let tail equals list, and while tail dot next, tail equals tail dot next. Okay, and that's going to find the end of the list we plugged in, and then we just need to say tail dot next equals this dot next. That can't happen yet. So list prev equals this, tail dot next equals this dot next, tail dot previous is fine. Tail.next.prev equals tail.next equals this dot next. Yep. Tail.next.prev equals tail. Point that this dot next equals list. So that should let us arbitrarily splice things into lists that we got, and I just want to try that out. So I've got a list 1 equals node.build list. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Var foo equals node.build list, and I'm going to build a list here out of 10, 11, 12. And then I want to say, okay, foo dot var node equals list.next.next.next. Node.value should be list.next is 2, 3, 4. Console.log node.value. That should be fine. Now I want to say node.splice, node.insert foo. And then I want to do a console.log list.toArray. Interesting, that's gone into an infinite loop. So insert has got some problems. Let me comment that lot out, see if that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's working. So insert list. We give it a thing to plug in. List.previous equals me. So the behavior that we are plugging in here is so we got a list that looks like this. We got 1, and we got the next pointer on that points to 2, and the next pointer on that points to 3, and 2 has a previous pointer pointing to 1, and 3 has a previous pointer pointing to 2. We say 2.insert linked list ABC. So what we got to say as well, 2's.next now points to, so we got this little list here, A, B, C, right? 2's next is now A. A's next is still B. B's next is still C. C's next needs to be 3. 3's previous thing needs to be C. And A's previous thing needs to be 2. So we need to assign 4 things. This dot next equals A. A dot prev equals this. C dot next equals 3, and 3 dot prev equals C. Okay. This is unlikely to be done by 1900 because it is 1900. But it feels like, okay, I'm in the middle of something I think will take about another 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get right. If that doesn't do it, then I'm going to take a break and come back to it. But at the moment, I feel like I would be coming back later to plug in this list insert behavior and then solve the problem, and it would be like a 10-minute stream. So I'm going to give this another 10 minutes and see if we get to it. Basically, if I get to the point where I can run using my linked lists and it doesn't work, then yeah, at that point things get gnarly. So so insert list. So list here is the head of the list. List.previous equals this. So that is that one solved. We need temp equals this dot next. We're capturing that. This dot next equals list. That's fine. Then let tail equals this thing here. We need to find the end of the thing that we are gluing into it. And then finally we need to glue those two together by saying that tail.next equals temp, and temp.previous equals tail. Whether there is a way to do that without, and that's looping, and I do not know why. Is tail a linked list there? Yes, it is. Why is that linked? Because, crap, this is dumb. No, it's all right. It's all right. I haven't created this list using a splice. I've created this list manually using the build list construction here, and the build list construction here needs a default value here. So actually that's build list. I need to static build loop. Thank you. Okay, so I got build list and I got build loop now. So that should now, so foo equals that, but this list should now be build loop. So I want to build a great big loop here, and then I got 10, 11, 12 there, and I'm going to run a program.js on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So list.next.next.next is list is 1 is 2 is 3 is 4. 4 dot insert foo should be 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that would appear to work, which means if I come over now to our game.test, or rather to our game itself, build list, that's all fine, that's all nice. Class game, that is gonna build the whole thing. Current cup equals this dot cups. Well, that loop that, this dot cups dot insert, but that's not that. That'll just now be desktop dot insert 3 cups. And then current cup equals this dot current cup dot next. Now then, let's go back and have a look. So what do we got? Game is not a constructor. Okay, that's gnarly. That should be fine. Game is a constructor. What are you complaining about just over here? Game is not a constructor. Game is not a constructor. Game is not a constructor. Okay, clear all the things. Right, let me just run just here. Let's see what we get. Game equals new game. Module exports equals game and node. I'm going to move this node out into a separate class is what I'm going to do. Const node equals dot slash require node. That's fine. That exports that. Node is its own file now. Class game module exports there equals that. Node program.js. Which test file is failing here? Game.test.js is failing. Const game equals require game. Const node equals just encountered an unexpected token. That doesn't work. Cannot read property build list of undefined. That is in game test here. Const node equals require dot slash node. Yep, cannot read property build list of, and actually I need to probably do that because game re-exports node as a dependency. Cannot read build list of undefined. That is coming from, yeah, game.test. No, hang on, maybe it's because game.js. Yeah, const node equals require node, but node probably doesn't have an exports on it. Module.exports equals node. List.test.js. We've got a weird piece of gnarliness on here. Type error converting circular structure to JSON list.test.js at report success. Interesting, because we've got an infinitely looped list, we're getting something blowing up because it can't serialize it to JSON. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on with this with JSON in it. Boom, JSON. What the fuck? Microsoft Windows script host JScript compilation error. What? No. Maybe having a file called node.js is a really bad idea. Oh, of course it is. Because when I type node, it's trying to run... so this should be linked list.js. All right, yes. Yes, always update imports. Making a file called node was a very, very bad idea. Node is going to be called list node. That is fine. Those are all nice. That works. Module.exports equals list node. Const list node equals require. Actually, let's make that list node. So that one, rename that to be list node. Chris thinks he broke Rust. That's require list node there. Program.js. Game list node equals require game. Game, I think, is re-exporting list node there. Home to the beginning. That's all right there. That's there. That's there. That's running again. Okay, I've got failing tests, which is kind of nice. Node.buildList is not a function. Let me find anything in our project that is just called, so that should be game list node equals require that. New game, new game, new game. Those are all fruity. And do I have a idea anywhere? That is game.test.js line 57. Game equals new game. So game.js constructor there. That should be list node.build list. That's fine. That is converting circular structures to JSON, which is going to cause all sorts of entertainment. But if I run our node program.js, node is not defined. Program.js line 16 has a problem. That needs to be list node. That needs to be list node. Include that. That's fine. Node program.js. All right, that's working. So that all appears to be all right. I want to do a quick solve part 1 and see what I get out of that. Cannot read property find of undefined. List node.js line 34 is choking. So list node.js line 34. If node is null, node equals this. So if that's that, if that's that, if that's that, if this value equals that, if this equals node, return this. If node equals null, so I need a if this dot next equals null, return null, because you ain't found it. That ain't gonna happen. Cannot set property previous of undefined. List node.js line 81. Insert list, list previous equals this, temp equals this dot next. Interesting. That's blowing up because I've not upgraded my game. That needs to be build loop is what that needs to be. That appears to have gone into a horrible infinite loop. Oh no, that's just doing a game traverse, isn't it? No, it's not. Game.playMoves 100. So let me just go back into game.js. Play moves and console.log move plus I, and this dot play move. Let's run that. That's getting as far as move 6 and then getting stuck in an infinite loop. Console.log foo, just to see what we're doing there. I'm never doing the desktop label thing, am I? That's decrementing, but I'm never looping it back around. If desktop label is less than or equal to 0, desktop label equals whatever the hell our maximum cup thing was. This dot maximum cup equals cupola dot length. Okay, still crashing at move 6. Why is it crashing at move 6? Take care, Louise. See you soon. Looking for cup with label. Okay. Found it. Okay, so the insert method is the thing that is throwing us into a loop here. And why is insert throwing a loop? Let's have a look at list node. Possibly because Yep, it's that thing there. So that insert is taking a list, but the list it's taken shouldn't be circular. 3 cups should not be a circular list at any point. Why is that now failing? Console.log 3 cups.toArray. Okay. Three, 6, 8 is fine. Okay, interesting. That should be a colon. Maximum call size stack exceeded. Cute. This is causing all kinds of mysterious hilarity. Okay, so what we got here is we got this insert method here, and when we try and get the tail off a list, the whole thing is going into a flat spin. So I think I need to put a little guard clause in here. Get tail. So head is null, and if head is null, head equals this, but also if head equals this, return. What's the tail of an infinite list? It's you know, if this dot next equals head, return this. That'll do too. If head is null, head is this. Return this dot next dot tail head, but that now needs to be a property or a function, not a method, not a property. Temp.prev equals tail, line 83. There should be no temp is this dot next. At that point, if temp is not equal to null, temp.previous equals tail. Cannot read property next of null. That line is line 63. Var tail equals head. That's interesting. Right. Right, folks, I'm calling that end of part one. Gonna be back on later to have another look and see if I can get this stuff working, but it is time to take a break, walk to the store, grab some bits, eat food, you know, all those kinds of entertaining activities. I'll be back on later on this evening. Well, this evening UK time, middle of the night, early morning India time, afternoon, evening for folks on the west side of the Atlantic. I'm gonna let's raid somebody, shall we? We got a couple of folks on here. Let's go and raid Potato Quality's writing PowerShelly stuff, and she's pretty cool. Let's do that. Let's start the raid on that. Thank you for tuning in, folks. That was a lot of fun, as always. It always is. This is really, really enjoyable doing this. And let me just make sure I got the things plugged in, otherwise I'm not going to be able to hear them when we start raiding them. That would be embarrassing. So, thank you for watching. I'll be back on a little later, and I'll see you all then. And we will solve this. Absolutely. Have my word. There you go. I promised it on the internet, so now it's got to happen. Let's raid. Catch you later, gang.